Hey, Tom here, FlipAnythingUSA. So look, this video I shot about a year ago, but it's really got some really great information in it. I was going to call it real estate jiu-jitsu because I take two of my buddies, my black belt buddies from jiu-jitsu that I regularly roll with pre-COVID. They wanted to know what I look for in a neighborhood. What is it that I specifically look at when I'm going around and buying property? This is a great video for you to watch. You guys know my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Been buying and selling real estate since I was 19 years old, a millionaire by 28, and that was a long time ago. Watch this video, you'll learn a lot about what I look at and what I value in a neighborhood. I'm talking about the amenities and about the price range and all kinds of good stuff's in there. So I've got a couple of my buddies here that are from my jiu-jitsu class. Got Matt and Tony. I know. Yeah, so and here's the other thing everybody needs to know. There's always a deal. There's always a deal. And I try to make this clear to everybody. There's always a divorce, a death, a dumb decision, a disaster. It's all D's too. It's all these things happen in life that cause deals to come about. And when I say death, I'm talking about retirement. There's nothing squandered, more squandered wealth in I said retirement, I'm sorry, in what's the word I'm looking for? Inheritance.
Inheritance?
Yeah, inheritance. I've bought properties that, somebody inherits a property and they go, oh great, free money. And they don't give it the due diligence to look at it.
Yeah.
So you end up buying. I bought a lake house, right, worth $300,000 or $400,000. I got it for $80,000. I bought 50 acres out in Leander. It's got 180 homes on it now. I bought it for $205,000. I sold it for almost $3 million. And so
do you market, Tom, or do you just you look at Google? How do you all of the above when you're looking for stuff? Word of mouth.
Send out those letters that I buy houses.
You'll have to buy my book.
Okay. Disclaimer. Disclaimer.
Yeah. No. Everybody knows who's watching. I already got a free app. And
Okay.
the app, Flip Anything, get it on Google, get it on the iPhone store, whatever it is.
Okay.
And I think it's 99 cents. So anybody wants to bitch about that, just don't buy it. I don't care. But anyways, the app is cool and the app is free if it's Android. But in the book, I got a book. I keep telling you guys I'm going to have it published, but it's actually this close now. We're going to do a big thing and start taking pre-orders, and I'll have it ready in about 2 months. But anyways, to answer your question, because I share it all anyways, but you will like to have it in a book, I'm
Okay,
sure.
yeah, cool.
But you can just see, look, my eyes are open. I drive by a lot. I see a house way close to the front. I'm going, hell, I can cut that into two. You know what I mean?
Details,
I drive by, I see the shades, the louvers. Everybody's got louvers in their windows now. Well, they're torn to shit. Well, I go, either somebody lives there and doesn't care, or this is a tenant that's tearing the shit out of the house. And so, hey, I'm going to find out who owns that.
And you can do that with yards too. If something's overgrown, trees are unkempt.
Well, true, but
Okay.
you know what? Me and my dad, we had a house like that. We had a camper shell sitting in the front yard that was acting as a greenhouse for me.
Okay.
And anyways,
That's another.
yeah, that's for
Okay.
another subject. Yeah. Anyways, so it doesn't always mean it's for sale.
But it's a possible option.
Yeah, no, but that's the difference. Is you go over and look. You go over and knock on the door.
Sure.
You know what? When I drive by and I'm looking for properties, I'm always looking. Everywhere I'm always looking. For sale sign makes me stop in my tracks, and I call. Because I want to know what it's worth. I want to know what they're asking. And sometimes they'll give me a price. I'm going, shit, that's a great deal. I didn't have to think about it. Let's make a deal. I'll buy it. Okay? Sometimes I go, that's too much. But you know what? Let's give them some time to break down and lower the price. And so that comes to mind. And actually, kind of we're making the case here. So look, this is area that's kind of near my home where we're just at. We passed already several buildings that I own and several houses that I already just showed you guys. Okay, so now we're going down a corridor, okay? So this corridor that we're going down now, we already passed one building that I own, and we're gonna go buy some others, okay? And I have what I describe to people as a real estate barbell. And what that means is, because I'm always around my neighborhood where I live, I buy stuff around that, which is kind of a circle. Then I go down this corridor and I see stuff I'm interested in, usually commercial, and I buy up stuff along the corridor. Then when I get to where my office is, where I work, I start buying up around my office because that's where I work. I'm there more often. So it ends up becoming another circle. But it's kind of like a bar and, like a weight on each end. It's just two circles, and meaning the properties and then the corridor in between. So those are things that I do, and I don't want to jump around too much. If you just want to just talk about houses, we can do more house stuff. We're heading towards houses.
I've got some residential properties that I'm looking to eventually turn into commercial investments.
So where are they at on the financial? What'd you pay for them?
They've about almost appreciated at double what I paid for them.
Right, but if you paid 100 or they were 200, or just trying to guess.
Yeah, they're anywhere between 100 and 200, and they
okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
So one was 120. It's now probably worth close to double that. One was about 180.
And what did the rents do?
The 120, I'm getting about $1,600 a month as a single story, and the 180 is about $1,750 a month.
Oh, okay.
On the original investments.
Right, and so, but your rents aren't going up as fast as the.
Yeah, yeah. The rents have been pretty stagnant over the past few years.
Gotcha. Okay.
Even though the property taxes and everything else, the valuations are going up quite a bit.
Right. So you're where I am with my stuff, where I just go, would I pay that? So you wouldn't pay for what you can sell it for, correct?
Correct.
All right. So it's time to sell, probably. But the problem is you got to find something to put it into.
Right.
Which is hard.
And then I'm kind of wondering about tax penalties if I do that. I've heard something about maybe 1031s or something along those lines.
Sure.
You can temporarily.
Yeah. And I just finished a 1031. I was unable to spend all the money that I had in the account, so I had to take out the last 150 or 175, whatever it was. And now I'm going to get dinged on that. I'm going to pay 20% roughly on that. It would be 15%, but we got an Obama tax. It's I think 4% now for. It's still in effect, so it's roughly 20%. But if you sell something within a year, then you got what we call short-term capital gains, and you pay about double. You pay 30 plus. I think you get dinged again that other 4%. So I cut over here just because this is another area. Like I own this center over here on the right, and
that was the one with the double water meter, right?
Yeah. And I try not to talk about exactly what town we're in, but so we'll be a little bit vague on that. But because it doesn't matter, I buy in a lot of different properties, a lot of different areas in the states, everything else. But again, this was a great deal. That I was just the first one there. And yeah, this ended up turning into the water meter debacle. And then
It's like it's 100% full too.
Oh, it is. It's full, man. And see, I like holding. Oh man, what's going on? There's something new.
See a for sale sign?
I did. I'll tell you what. I did see a for sale sign here, right where you see this here, and I was in contract to buy this property. Now, folks, this is actually interesting. This is what we call a flag lot. So just imagine a flag, like this, okay? A long pole, and then the flag. We're at the bottom of this pole right now.
And that's where the main road is down here.
Yeah, so we're going down this road, and then we're going to, boom, reveal a flag, the main body of the property. So I'll give you guys a look here. So this is the property, it's just this road, okay? So we're going to go up this road, and I saw the for sale sign the day it went up. Somebody was already made an offer on it, was sitting on the guy's desk, and I said, what's the deal? And he goes, well, he goes, it's probably gonna be gone here. And I go, oh man, and now I'm probably gonna be depressed that I didn't buy it again. Anyways, that's the entry into the property. I'm not even gonna go in, but you can see how it all of a sudden opens up here on the left. All this property. This guy put in a car lot, apparently. Anyways, and now I'm a little more upset that I didn't buy it again. I haven't looked at it since I passed on it. But anyways, not a big deal. It's just I was buying this thing for $749,000, and I was paying cash, and it had a 2,000 square foot building you see back there, but it's kind of a, you know, it's got its utility. The utility is it's good for cars and automotive. And you can see over here, this doesn't look particularly pretty, but that's not what it's about. Every property's, anyways, buying for 740, I thought, man, I can do better. And I said, you know what? I said, how about, you know, I tried to negotiate it down a little bit. They were open for it. There's some other little issues because they had storage on there. I don't want to get into all the details of it, but the bottom line is I let it go. And then I couldn't find anything quite as good, to be honest, and I was a little frustrated because it would have saved me some of that. You know, I just got a little bit greedy maybe, but you know, no regrets. Now I'm going to show you. I'll show you what I bought instead of this, and I'm going to do fine. I'm going to make money on it. But my safe, what I go to is I go to buy houses when I don't have, you know, if I don't have when I'm under the pressure of a 1031, you have to identify the property you're going to buy within 45 days. Well, that's tough. You can't just find a deal in 45 days. And I found that, and it was like a pretty decent deal. Not exactly what I wanted, but I still didn't do as good after I passed that up. So, my mistake. It's going to happen.
So you bring up something that I was always taught. Where you really make the money is in the purchase.
Yeah, you always make it. That's where you should make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a speculator, and that's my hedge. So Matt's making a good point. And that is, yeah, I make my money the day I buy it. I can sell it for more. I mean, that's what opened my eyes to real estate. And if you guys watch my earliest video, you see that I was 19 years old and I bought a building. You know, they gave me a 6-month escrow. I got to move into it. I didn't have to make a payment for 6 months. That's how I saved the 10 grand to buy the thing. And it was owner carried. And so that opened my eyes to owner carried too, because I was 19. I had hair down to my shoulders. My eyes were bloodshot because I had allergies, and I looked like I was high, even though I wasn't. And so now we're over at this little food trailer park. This is another property I bought a long time ago. So you can see the food park behind me. Yeah, and this is an old school. This is an old elementary school you see right here. So I'll just drive around here. This is an old elementary school. These were classrooms at one time over here. And I just got my ideas for a beer garden shut down today. I was thinking about putting a beer garden and serving beer out that corner, and then having this huge lot that I also own. It's all part of it. This is the schoolyard. I think it's shut down. I don't know if it's shut down, but I don't want to deal with it today. Although I was told that there's potentially a high-rise going over here that's been okayed. So that will be good for me.
Would have been good for a beer garden too.
Yeah, it'd be good for, exactly. Well, I'm not done with it. I can still open a bar here, but I really just wanted a beer garden. I just wanted to have another trailer park is what I wanted.
Can you put the beer garden on the rooftop?
Yeah, that'd be slick. Yeah. Anyways, so you guys can see, again, this is taking a piece of this asset, a prime corner. The guys I beat out on this property were wanting to put a Walgreens here. And anyways, I got it. This is like 12 years ago probably. But anyways, so now, you know, I've got, 6 trailers over there, 5 or 6 trailers. And I'm getting some income out of that I wouldn't get otherwise. And it's easy income.
Cash.
Yeah, well, it's not cash, but it's just money I wouldn't be getting out of here otherwise, because all it costs me though is utilities, so electricity and water, and they're self-contained. It's kind of a piece of cake for me. So
utilize the property that you have in any way you can.
Yeah, and know it, and I could have done this 8-10 years ago. And I remember a guy offering me $1,500 a month to park one trailer there a long time ago.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, I charge half that or less than half that for these guys. But once they get established, I told them my goal is to get $1,000 a trailer. But it's not there yet. So what I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to show you a neighborhood that I actually don't own anything in. But I'm looking at buying in this area. And the thing with this deal that I'm going to show you here is sometimes there's diamonds in the rough, and this is kind of one of those properties. The prices aren't that high, but people aren't aware of the amenities that are there. This thing has got decent little houses, decent lot sizes, but it's also, people don't realize it's right next to like what's kind of like a major green belt. There's like a little river, you can fish. I mean, you can fish in this creek, you can go running, riding bikes, there's enormous soccer fields, and we won't name the place, you guys are gonna know when we see it, but
Don't shout it out when we see it?
yeah, don't shout it out when you see it. Because I'm looking at buying in this place.
I've actually looked in this neighborhood
Yeah,
before.
yeah, and but you'll see what I'm going to show you here. You probably don't know, and I almost don't recognize this place because I haven't been down here in so long.
Are you looking for the stoplight right here to shoot back?
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, no, I'm on track. Yeah, next street.
Sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
want to
this
say
is
the
all
street
new on
name,
my
but-
ride. I haven't been here in a while. So we're going into a little neighborhood that's been here forever. Also, this road that we're on right now, this is a major thoroughfare, okay? This used to be a dead end. And so when I bought that school property, it really wasn't, I mean, they had just opened this up, but this is connecting two major highways. So it became a highway in itself. And so all of a sudden the traffic count went up and they made everything on that street worth more. And so I knew that had just happened. And so I was taking advantage of that. So
Decent lot size.
yeah, this is the place, man. This is,
Smaller entry-level homes.
I'm telling you guys, look here.
Okay.
Okay? In fact, you guys ought to snap a picture. Oh, it says pending. That's great. I would snap a picture of this. And no, not with my camera. Not with my camera, your camera.
Oh, I see. Now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, seriously, take a picture of it so you can look at buying it. Or you can give me the photo, I might buy it. Now, you might, yeah.
That's right. Got it.
You sure you're getting, I don't see the number. There you maybe you get it.
Oh, I got the name of the nest.
You can shoot, actually, you can shoot a picture right here in the window, in the mirror. Let's see if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Got it.
Okay, so I gotta get us powered back on here. So never be discouraged. It says pending. That doesn't mean nothing.
I'll call it on one of my houses.
Oh, nice. So anyway, I'm gonna give us power, cut us off. Anyways, when you see a pending sign, call on it. You want to get in the second position. Talk to the agent, see if you can dig and figure out what it's sold for, what they're asking for. Because you may just find out. Let's say you're in a $200,000 area, and you call on it, and you go, hey, I'd like to be interested in buying that. And they'd say, oh, well, it's already sold. Well, it probably sold because it sold too cheap.
Right. Okay.
It's because it sold like that. That's an indication that it was under market. So you call on it, you say, oh, really? What's the deal? And so it sold for that? And they go, yeah, it sold for, they'll tell you, yeah, it's sold for full price. Or, they'll give you that kind of information a little bit. So what you do is say, well, I want to put a backup offer. I really want it. I got to have it. I want to buy it. And you get yourself in the second position. And so you make an offer that's contingent on it falling out. Because things fall out. Just like the guy that got the property that I just let go. So
The shutters on this house were torn.
yeah,
Can we go knock on it?
no, this is actually, yeah, this here, okay, this kind of looks like me and my dad's house when I was a kid. Okay, but maybe not quite that bad. But I'm guessing that guy owns the place and he just doesn't give a damn.
Yeah.
But still, doesn't hurt. Call him, shake his hand, talk to him, give him your card, say, hey, call me if you ever change your mind. That's the other thing. Make friends with everybody you meet and talk to, and make sure they have your number.
And say, do you have a card you give them and say, hey,
Yeah,
buy the book? I'll buy the book.
I used to, yeah, I give them a card. For one of my companies, I give them a card, write my cell number on it if it's not already on there. So, anyhow, back to the subject of coming in here. I'm here to show you some amenities that aren't obvious to this neighborhood that we just drove through. And also, there's a for rent sign. I call on for rent signs too. If it's empty, that's an opportunity for the seller to sell the place.
So that's a duplex.
Yeah. So if it's for rent, that means, hey, the guy may say, you know what? And maybe it's the third time he rented it this year or whatever. He might have some reason for wanting to get rid of it. So now, look, we just drove to the far corner of this subdivision, and we kind of wiggled through here, kind of amazed to get back here. And now look at what we're looking at.
Don't show us over.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think that's too descriptive. But you can see, yeah, a nice little green belt and a creek. And look at that. Actually, let's just get out. Go check it out, guys. Okay, so look, here's these houses, and now look at this thing. Look what we got out here.
Everyone guess this thing be back here?
That's right. You don't even know it's here. So look at this. There's ducks. There's ducks. I mean, this is nature, man.
Little crane over there.
And yeah, look at that. You said that there's a crane across the water there. See it over there? I'm gonna throw a rock at it, make it jump. No, I'm kidding. No, but so just think for you just had kids. Your kids could come down here, throw rocks, play, fish. You got all this, and then you can see this trail. It goes around here, and guess what? It takes you to, another 40 acres of this kind of stuff. There's ballparks, soccer fields. There's all kinds of stuff that's right here that people don't know it's here. And so these are some of the kinds of amenities that people don't recognize are there, especially when things develop and grow. Now, this is a cool little amenity for sure, but this could just as easily be a new shopping center that has a theater, restaurants, and a bar. I mean, who doesn't want to be able to walk to a bar and have a drink, and if you have too much, you can walk home. You know what I mean? Or just get off work and walk a mile to have a pizza with your kids, and walk back. So
Schools, Tom, or anything like that?
Well, schools are another thing that drive purchases.
Okay.
And I can't say I know what the school district is here, but anyways.
All kinds of amenities and.
Yeah, and I mean it can be different. It can be, like I say, it could be, this happens to be nature, but
We're back.
Yeah, we're back. So we've been gone for 10 seconds.
We purchased 2 properties while we were gone.
Yep, already made some money. So, but that's just another aspect of looking at things, is that there are things sitting right there in front of you that you don't even realize they're there. Okay. And again, duplexes, that used to be, see, here's the problem with duplexes. See this crap in the front yard? Okay, now look over here. Another thing, crap in the front yard, because that's kind of what happens. People move out, and sometimes you got tenants that aren't the best tenants, but that's part of it. That's part of it sometimes.
So are duplexes more like commercial properties where the values don't fluctuate as much as the single?
No,
families?
but again, awesome question. Okay. Yeah, multifamily. I consider that multifamily, right? Duplexes don't jump in value like homes can, because homes are an emotional purchase. People will pay much more per foot for a home than they will for a commercial piece of property, because I want my kid to go to that school, it's near my mom, it's these different things that drive. Jeez, what's the speed limit here? I'm afraid. Got a black and white behind me.
Yeah, he's been pulling people over.
It's 40.
Is it 40? Good, because I'm going 31. Oh shit, and he's pulling me over. All right. Well, I'm getting a ticket for not having a bumper or not a bumper, but a license plate on the front of my car, which I didn't know I needed to have one. And I bought this car new. Let's see.
Yeah,
Unless I got that extra plate and I thought, oh, this is a spare. I don't know. But
so amenities,
Yeah.
lots of different things to look at.
yeah, like I said, it's
Lot placements.
Yeah,
all
so
kinds
you
of good
got
stuff
yeah,
today.
size of the lot, if you can cut it in two, And then if you can find a house that's on a lot where they put it one too far in the front, or one way or another, where you can actually do a split and the setbacks, because you got to have 20 feet back from certain lines and that sort of thing. Well, you got it made. You cut the lot in half, because people don't understand. Sometimes they think, oh, like even on land, I buy and sell a lot of land. So I get land for 1.25 acres and 2.5 acres, and 2.5 acres doesn't sell for twice as much as 1.25. It's just a little bit more. But you can go buy the 2.5 acres and split it, and you'll sell 2.25 acres for almost as much what you paid for the 2.5. So there's a lot of opportunities like that, and and now I got to go screw with this car thing. Oh, well, anyways, but there's stuff like that. God, there's cops everywhere. I've got 2 motorcycle cops, and I got another one right in front of me.
You just got some.
I give you 2 warnings for the. It's called unregistered vehicle. You just have to display your registration on the front and no license plate. You got to get a license plate on the front too.
That's awesome. So it's just a warning, not going to cost me
Both
nothing?
warnings, 2 warnings.
That's awesome.
Thank you,
man.
sir.
Thank you.
Y'all need to get that taken care of.
I absolutely will. Thank you very much.
You will get pulled over. A trooper is going to pull you over for no reason other than not having a plate and definitely not having a registration sticker.
Wow.
You got tolls now, and they look at that front plate.
Can I hit OK here?
Sure.
Awesome.
All right, let me print out for you. Be right back.
All right.
And get your correct insurance card, Paul. That's awesome.
So
Good
this
job.
cop's awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice guy. He just gave me warnings. I got to put the warning sticker in the window so I don't get pulled over.
Yeah. There you go. Just tape it to your front bumper.
Yeah. There you go.
That's funny.
Drive safe.
All right. Thank you very
sir.
much. Yes, sir.
Careful. All right. Well, we learned some stuff non-real estate too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Must display a front license plate.
Oh my gosh.
Careful, you gotta have your registration on your windshield.
So do you look at properties that are along the main road here and that are residential and possible conversion to commercial?
I do, and I bought 4 of them on that road we were just at when we started on. And they can be cool and they can be worked. If you're gonna buy one, like he's talking about, we're on a busy 5-lane road, really, if you count the center lane, and there's houses off to the right. These neighborhoods are not going to cooperate with you. If you try to make this commercial on one of these corners, like these ones that you see us passing here, the answer is like always, not just no, but it's hell no. And it's because they're afraid you're creeping the commercial into their neighborhood. Okay? Now, I've done it. I've rezoned like that. But man, it's a bitch. And if you're not, a lot of people just don't care. But it only takes one jerk that cares to make everything spoiled. Because he'll go down to the council meeting and he'll call himself I like to call these guys the sheriff of the neighborhood, because that's what they want to be. But they'll go up there and they'll say, I represent the so-and-so association. It's just a name he made up. But now it sounds like he represents everybody on the block, and he doesn't. Okay. And so those guys can be difficult to fight. And a lot of times these guys are actually looking to get paid off to go away. But some are just retired, they ain't got nothing to do, and they're just busybodies. But like, see, here's a house there's one that is, okay?
Yeah, I'm
and
seeing
here's
several
another
of these along the way that have been.
But they don't look like they're in part of a main subdivision, or when it was subdivided. Like the one that I got rezoned, it was actually set out with a couple others that were along the street that said it basically may be used commercially. May. So I had to just make the case why it should be allowed, and they agreed with me.
Oh.
But man, did I get some fierce opposition, and I ended up actually suing one of those guys about a year later, just because he wouldn't stop pestering me on all my stuff.
There's a lot of good information.
Yeah, it's interesting, but and it's about time to head back, I guess. But that's probably with the real estate, with the residential stuff. We kind of covered a lot there. Mm-hmm. The other thing, as far as looking for deals, when you see a garage sale sign, pull over.
Yeah.
go right into the garage and say, hey, who owns this place? Because garage sales mean somebody's moving.
Even estate sales sometimes too.
Estate sales too. Love estate sales. Yeah, absolutely.
That's usually, like you said, the catastrophic, like a death.
Somebody's dead. Yeah, somebody's dead. And garage sales, somebody's getting a divorce sometimes. You know, so. But yeah, garage sales, that's a sign that people just often overlook. And you know, you go in there and you know, you find out, well, is somebody moving? And they'll either say, well, yeah, we're moving. Here's our landlord's card. Well, I'll call the landlord because they just moved out. Maybe he's been wanting to sell it and just waiting for them to move out. And so now that's his opportunity. Or maybe it's the owner. In fact, I didn't show you. I got another one. I forgot to take you to another neighborhood where I just bought several. The house I just closed a week ago, I paid $250 cash, and the owners, again, it didn't have a pending sign on it. What it had is a coming soon sign. So when it says coming soon, just beat down the door till you get a hold of the owner and make a deal, because everybody else is waiting. Oh, I'm just going to wait for that for sale sign to come up. Well, it's never going to come up if I'm in the neighborhood, because I'm going to get it, and you're just going to see it go from, you know, coming soon to sold, and that's what's going to happen.
Do you try and deal without a realtor?
I mean, I would never bring a realtor into a deal.
Okay.
Never, you know. So ideally, in fact, that's part of your pitch is you say, hey, let's just make a deal. There's no real estate agent. There's no commission to pay. We both save money.
Okay.
And so, and really the burden is on the seller with the commission. So he saves money.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, you're making money right there.
Yeah. So, in fact, the house that I bought, that I'm still living in, I bought 28 years ago. I don't even know how long it's been now. I saw a little old lady and a little old man walking from their car to the mailbox. And this is a beautiful property I have. And I go, man, they look like they're ready to sell. They're like in their 80s. And I just walked straight to them and said, hey, how you doing? Introduced myself. And I said, hey, would you ever be interested in selling your property? And they go, as a matter of fact, we are. And they said, come back tomorrow and we'll talk. Well, we came back and we sat down and they said, well, let's make a deal. And he says, well, let me go talk to my realtor. And I was like, no. And so, but he did. He went and talked to a couple of realtors, and he came back and he said, well, the realtor said we can get 200 and maybe 10,000, I think. Probably 210, maybe it's 220. And I'm like, that's fine. I was fine. That was no problem. I want it. And so this is, like I said, about 25, 28 years ago. But I was nervous waiting for him to come up with the price. Well, when he came back and he said, well, I want 220,000 for it. I go, well, hey, since that's what the agent, I said, what do you say we split the difference on the 6%? Because you're going to save 6%. So we took 3% off that price. We took another, whatever, $6,000, $7,000 off, and I bought it for $7,000 off. That's what it was. We took $7,500 off 220 because I bought it for $212.50.
Okay.
And it was a great deal. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was a nice big property, and several acres. And so those are the things. It's just taking that extra step, knocking on the door, calling on the sign, stopping at the garage sale, calling the agent that says it's sold already, because it's nothing sold till it's sold.
Right.
Those are the things that kind of set you apart from everybody else as an investor.
Okay.
That's aggressive and going after it.
Okay.
And then I think we talked about buying 200 like at this time, buying anything close to 200 or 250, you're going to be able to, if you put 20% down, you're going to be able to cover the mortgage and then some, because interest rates are so cheap. I don't know what you guys paid for your first house and your interest rate, but I paid 9 1/8.
Yeah.
And that was a deal at the time.
Yeah.
That's double what I'd pay today if I borrowed money.
Oh
for a
yeah,
house.
absolutely.
So, but anyways, anything else you guys can think of? Or?
Man, that was a lot of good information. I don't have anything right now, but it was fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Right on, man.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, thanks. Well, I'll see you guys in the gym tomorrow, I guess. But
right.
Right on, man. Thanks, Matt.
Tom.
Yeah,
Thanks, Tom.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Tony.
Thanks, everybody,
Yep.
for following along.
Yep. Thanks everybody. So be sure to share and subscribe, and you know, whatever.
Get the book.
Yeah, get the book when the book's ready. Thanks.
Thanks for Officer Johnson.
Yeah, and thanks. Yeah, we got lucky with the policeman. That was really cool. If you don't have my book, get my book. Okay, listen, people go to free seminars and get fleeced out of $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. It's terrible. This is $20 in paperback. I've made a fortune in real estate. You can too. It's not that hard. Be sure to share and be sure to subscribe. Subscribe. You got nothing to lose. Subscribe. And if you get bored, you can always unsubscribe later. But that's it. Thanks for watching.